Okay, we're recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our November Tech Bite. I hope everybody's excited for the upcoming Turkey Day and got some good plans stirring. Um, Today, I wanted to kind of do a quick one about some of the neat new features in R81. I feel like while there's many of them, if you look at the list, there's like over 100 new features or fixes or what have you. I wanted to focus really on four that I think are the key upgrades to 81. And then I also have a quick list, which is actually in front of you, that I just want to run through the list real quick. I don't have any demo for these particular things today. R81 came out. It's actually been out for quite a while, and R8110 is right around the corner. R81, the three things I'm going to just tell you from this slide I made in the last like couple minutes here. First, it supports TLS 1.3 for decryption. Prior to this, we did not support 1.3. We had 1.2 and earlier. But the newest, HTTPS or TLS as you were, is 1.3. And now we can do SSL inspection, or sorry, TLS inspection on 1.3. So it's good stuff. There's a lot of updates that in R81 for NAT rules. I don't know how much time people really spend on NAT rules. I feel like it's kind of one of the things that you kind of set and forget. However, the NAT rules now support using domain objects, updatable objects, security zones, access roles, and data center objects. So there's a lot of improved capability and also a little bit of dynamic action there, because you don't have to go in there and manually insert sources and destinations if you're using like updatable objects, for example. Mobile access, there's been a lot of improvements for the last couple versions. 8040 had some improvements in mobile access too. They improved the user interface, so the client side. That's nice. And then they fixed the SNX pop-up. When you had SNX on there used to be like a little pop-up that would pop up and say, hey, you're using a small client that's been downloaded, blah, blah, blah. That's gone. There's also improved support for languages other than English. And also another little creature comfort thing, when you launch an app from there, it launches in a different tab as opposed to going there and you have to go back to the launch page. So a couple neat little features that were added in there. And I'll just check super quick that there is no chat. There is not. Very good. Okay. So that's the PowerPoint here, which we usually don't do a lot of PowerPoint. So what I wanted to demo and show you today are four things that I feel are some of the neatest features that came with R81. I will admit that a few of these also existed in later takes of R80.40. So some of this you can get if you're on 8040, but really these are all 81 technologies. The first one I want to point out very quickly. So you see here I have my management, and I have two gateways, an 8040 gateway and an 81 gateway that'll come into play somewhat later. But we have, let's call this a brand new environment. And also apologies for any sort of lagginess that might happen. This is all virtual machines and in the cloud, and resources are a little tight on some of them. The first thing I wanted to show you was what we call our Infinity Threat Prevention. So in the past, you would go to threat prevention policy, and it's actually still available today right here. You would change your protected scope. You would change your actions. We had three different actions cooked in here, right? The basic, the optimized, and the strict. Or you could make your own. You could copy this and do some edits. This was good. but it really wasn't customized or built specifically to specific use cases, right? Like what is an optimized uh, prevention profile? You know, is that appropriate for a perimeter gateway or a data center gateway, or what is it for, right? So you'd be doing some digging and some exceptions. Now here, now we have what we call our Infinity Threat Prevention. You'll see autonomous policy it's labeled in here. We have profiles built in here so that with one click, you can choose what kind of gateway this is, or what kind of subnet, etc. What gateway this is, and you can go ahead and with one click apply the appropriate threat prevention policy, which is really cool stuff. So as you see, we have perimeter here, right? Because this is perimeter gateway. But if it wasn't, let's say that it was a data center firewall, right? With one click, it is now doing the data center. Well, you have to push still, but it's doing the data center protections. If you aren't sure which one you need, there's even this cool help me decide button, which really explains, let's shrink this down real quick, which really explains to you, here are the options, and here's all the different settings, right? So you can kind of get a good grasp of what it's protecting based on what profile, and you can go ahead and choose. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's the Infinity Threat Prevention. Again, once you choose one, and I got like multiple layered control bars here. Yeah, I'll put this on the bottom for now. Move this over. Sorry about that. Once you change this, obviously you have to publish and install. So that's the threat prevention. It's really cool. You can actually make exceptions super easy to it too, right? So let's just say that sorry, I want to go here, file protections. So let's say you pick the data center policy. It's great, but there's one thing you want to bypass or change or whatever. You can choose right out of the box from a long list of file types. So let's just go with let's try TXT files. There you go. So let's say TXT files, we feel that they're fine, which I don't necessarily agree with that, but let's just say that they're totally allowed. We can bypass them. We add it, and there you go. The TXT files will no longer be scrubbed by threat prevention. So that's the Infinity Threat Prevention. It's an easy way for someone to get started with a brand new gateway. Perhaps they have a new data center that they want to set, things like that. It's nice to have that quick, easy, and it's all autonomous or self-sufficient. So it updates itself as it goes, pulls down the required things, make the required changes as checkpoint changes them. So it's cool stuff. And I'll break for just 1 second. Don't see any questions in Q&A. Very good. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to show you. The second thing I wanted to show you, which is a pretty new thing, customers have been asking for it. We now have the ability to import third-party indicators of compromise. So if you have a file that is an IOC file, and they're widely available. And we have a customer that's a state government entity, and the state actually sends out their own custom feed every day of IOCs. And this particular customer, they've used this feature. They actually upgraded for this feature, and they love it. So if you have a separate an IOC feed, right? You can simply come here to, you go in the threat prevention, you go under tools to indicators, you put an external IOC feed. You can also manually import a specific file once type of thing. I happen to have, let me just grab it. I happen to have one that is widely available, and some of you guys will actually know who makes this Talos one, but I won't mention who. Simply what you do is you put the URL in, you choose whether it's going to be detect or prevent. If you need to authenticate to that URL, here's where it is. There's a couple of neat customizable things in here in case you have specific things in the feed you want to ignore. You test your connectivity. We are successfully connected. Hit OK. And once we push, not only will you have all of Checkpoint's threat intelligence and the threat cloud, but you'll also have this feed will also be feeding IOCs. So very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. I wanted to show the changes. I'm going to do it backwards from what I listed. So I'm going to show the changes report first. So I'm going to go to access policy to show it. Now, I know for me, this happens all the time, and I'm sure this has happened to a lot of other people. You come in here, you do some stuff, you walk away, or you go to deal with some other thing, and you come back, and up here is a big yellow circle that says you made a bunch of changes, and you say, what changes did I make? I don't remember. Do I want to install this or not? You know, and in theory, you know, you could really cause yourself some headaches by just blindly installing things. So we have the change report, and the change report is right here. It's this little icon. When you click this, it generates this quick report, and it will actually tell you all the changes you've made in this session, right? By type, and then you can actually see I created that object we created a minute ago, the object Talos, and here's all the information on it, right? We also changed our threat prevention profile to the cloud data center, and we also made an override, right? So all of that is right here, and you can see it before you push it. So you know, hey, this is the thing I want to push. What's also cool, this has existed for a little while, but it's worth pointing out since it's same topic. If you ever want to go backwards and see, you know, hey, something that happened 3 sessions ago, right? You come into manage the settings, go to sessions and revisions, and all of these contain that information. When you click on them, you go to audit logs. Come on now. This is an old, let's see this one. This one will work. Yeah, these are old audits. You got to change this search if you want the other ones. But you see, you could actually see like this change I made this morning. I literally changed one of the rules, spread this out a little bit, and I changed it from allow accept to deny, right? Okay, so we've talked about 3 really cool features that improve the functionality of the gateway. But the one that I think is the coolest is the actual policy install. So we have in R81 improved how we install the access policy. The first time you install is just like it always was. You know, the whole file of the access policy gets installed on the gateways, and there's no change there. But once you've done it once, and it actually improves as you keep doing it, and, you know, each time you install it gets a little better. We've changed the installs to where they will only install the pieces you changed as opposed to the whole policy, which is a really cool thing. And it reduces the amount of time it takes to install policy on gateways that are running R81. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'll show it to you. And there's a couple changes in this one. So if it, you know, and I got this cloud, you know, environment that doesn't have the most horsepower. So if it doesn't work the first time, I'm going to try it again. But so you see, I have 2 gateways, right? One's an R81, one's an 8040. This one's going to be accelerated. This one's not. And I'll show it to you as soon as I hit install. Go to details. So here you go. So this is oh, because I changed it to data center, this one's not going to accelerate. So I'll have to do a second one. It's okay. So this one's actually because all the changes I made previously will not be accelerated. It tells you right here, acceleration is not compatible with the changes made since the last installation. So this will be a traditional install, which I find is still fairly quick on R81, even without the acceleration. So you see the R81 finished a little bit quicker, but that wasn't an accelerated one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and change this rule to drop, and I'm going to install again. And this time it will be accelerated because all it's going to do is just change rule 3 on the gateways. So again, 2 gateways, one's 81, one's 8040. We hit install, go to details. There you go. See, this one's being accelerated because it's the 81. And again, this environment's not like super powerful in a, when it's on-prem internal to your environment, it's going to be much quicker than this. The demo, of course it does that to me. So in this one, for whatever reason, the 8040 actually installed just as fast. I'll try it one more time and then I'm gonna let it fly. Let's change a different rule. Let's change this one. Accept. Install. Install. Here it comes. So again, this one's accelerated. Hopefully this time it demonstrates more like what I see when I use this. See, the R81's finished and the 40's still going. And there you go, the 40's finished. So you saw how the 81, I would say it was 25% faster at least. And as you keep going, you're going to see, as your policy gets larger, you'll see a greater difference, and it'll be, it's really nice. Okay, so I went slightly longer than I anticipated, but I don't see any questions. So those were the 4 major things I wanted to show you guys today. I hope that, you saw it, you saw the neat differences in 81 and that it may make you think about moving over to 81. And by the way, 81 is currently the suggested, recommended version by Checkpoint. And I hope you guys have a great holiday and hopefully talk to you soon. I'm going to stop recording now.